Welcome to the What Matters videocast series that enables us to connect during this time of stay home. We're taking a look inward at unique experiences, upward for divine direction, and outward to see God's activity in the world, even during this very uncertain time. I'm delighted to have you meet my friend, Robin McCullough. Robin and her family have been at Church of the Resurrection for 15 years, involved in various ministry areas. Robin in particular has led a Bible study in our Bible study ministry now for 14 years, and she'll tell you more about that particular study group. She's also traveled on mission trips, did her first mission trip to Honduras during the summer 4 years ago, and since then has led a team back to Honduras every year since. So I just love that part of her story. Robin also, as a new empty nester, figured out she needed to be around little kiddos a little bit. And so she started to volunteer with babies in our nursery at church during midweek programming. How fun is that? So I want you to have the honor and pleasure of meeting Robin McCullough. Hi, Robin. How are you?
Hi, Michelle. Thanks for having me. Good morning.
You are very welcome. I'm so glad you're talking with us. We have, of course, all been trying to figure out how to do this new thing, just of staying home, riding the waves of the news, the anxiety, the worry, the concern, but also carving out opportunities to still connect with people. And so I just wanted you to share a little bit of your experience, how you're doing that, how this is working for your Bible study group. I know those ladies, and I know you all have just really developed this great connection. And I'm so glad that you're able to figure out a way to continue that even now. But I know that when I first talked to you about, hey, Robin, so there's this thing called Zoom. I wonder if it might be helpful for your group. What did Robin say to that?
Well, Michelle, you've known me many years, and you know that I don't like change. I like consistency. So this whole new Zoom, new Bible study has really thrown me for a loop because I just don't like change. So let's go back a little bit to the beginning of March, and we had a leaders meeting, and nothing was shut down at that point, but there were some rumblings about the virus and what things may look like. And I was to start my Bible study that very next week because we were going to start a week early. So I had to kind of figure some things out, and my Bible study consists a lot of ladies that are a little bit older. And so I knew that just that they were the susceptible group with this virus. So I thought we need to maybe figure some things out. So I sent a quick email to them saying, just want to check in. Are you good about starting next week? How's everybody feeling? And I got an overwhelming response from many of them that just said, my doctor said, I can't get out. I mean, they were told because of just certain things that they were dealing with health-wise that they cannot get out. And I had so many replies of that I think kind of made my decision for me that, you know what, we just can't have Bible study this spring. They were so saddened because our community is just, we rely on each other a lot, not just for social reasons, but just our prayer groups and just being around each other. But we knew that was probably the smartest thing to do is to cancel it. And so we canceled it for the spring, and it was probably just a week later that everything hit and everything was canceled. Everyone was, asked to stay in. And so obviously it was the right decision, but it was made for us, later that week. And so I kind of, took a deep breath and thought, okay, great. I have off, this spring. I don't have to teach, and because it is time consuming as a teacher and preparation. And I just thought, okay, great. Now I can have time off. And so I was sharing with my friend in Tulsa about my sweet little ladies and and she said, well, Robin, isn't there a way that you could maybe there's this Zoom thing out there? And I was like, oh nope, we can't do it. I said, they're a little bit older. They probably can't figure it out. I was really talking about myself that I couldn't figure out, but they can't figure it out. And she said, well, I just think that'd be a really neat idea. And I said, thank you, love you. I think I hung up the phone on that. So then it was a few days later, one of my ladies from my Bible study said, hey, have you heard about this Zoom thing? And she said, "Do you think we could do that for our group?" And I said, "Oh, Sherry, that's a great idea. I just don't think it would work." In my mind, I'm thinking, dude, we already closed that book. We're moving on. Right. And she said, "I think we could maybe do this." And I went, so now I'm starting to think. And then a third person reached out about Zoom. And then I finally reached out to you, Michelle, about Zoom.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh yeah, we have a church account. We can totally do this." And, when people talk about, God whispers or God gently shuts doors or windows for you, God has to slam stuff for me. There's nothing subtle when God's talking to Robin McCullough. It takes a while. When I was asked to teach Bible study 14 years ago, it was Holly Pearson came to me and said, you are it. You need to teach Bible study. I said, "Yeah, no." And she said, "I've been praying about it, and I'm just been really led to talk to you about that." And I said, "Save your prayers. It's not for me." She said, "Well, we just pray about it." And I said, "No." I said, "Why? I mean, I know the answer. Why would I waste his time and my time?" About 2 months later, Holly came to me and she said, "This is still in my heart. Will you just pray about it?" And I thought, so I came back to her and I said, "Yeah, I prayed about it." He said, "No." And she goes, "Really?" So it was about 2 months later, she approached me again. And thank goodness for Holly's persistence and to listening to the Holy Spirit, because finally I gave in and thought, okay, maybe God's wanting me to do this. But like I said, it takes a lot for Robin to listen to God's calling. So I ended up starting to teach the fall of 2006. I've been teaching ever since. So jump back to Zoom, right? It takes just this persistence. And so I thought, you know what I'm going to do? This is what I'm going to do. I'll listen to God, but I'm going to send out an email to these ladies and just say, "Do you think you would be up for this?" Knowing the answer is going to be no, right? They're going to go, "Exactly. I don't even know how to answer a phone. I'm not, what do you mean?" So I thought that way will get me out of it, right? So I sent out an email saying, "Hey, there's a Zoom thing. We can still do our regular study," because we were doing, having a Mary Hart and a Martha World by Joanna Weaver. And they were so excited about doing that. And we were just going to put it on hold. And I said, "We can still do that. But, it takes this technology thing called Zoom. You probably, won't get it. I just need your thoughts." Well, Michelle, overwhelmingly, yes, we want to do this. This is great. I don't know how to do it. We'll have to figure it out. But yes, I miss my community. I miss your faces. I miss your smiles. I mean, it was just overwhelming.
Yeah.
Okay, Lord, I hear you. Right. So go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, and I know how important the connection is for your ladies.
They were just craving that.
Yeah. Everybody was. Right.
And so I said, "Tell you what we're going to do." I said, "We're going to set up a Zoom meeting for Thursday," that's when we normally meet, is Thursdays at 9:30. And I said, "We're going to do same Thursdays at 9:30 to make it our regular consistent time." And I said, "This first time is going to be about, 15, 20 minutes long. We just want to be able to, get in. Hey, I see everybody's faces, make sure we know how to connect. And then the following week, we'll make it for real." So everybody put on their calendar. We're all excited. So we come in and I asked my college daughter, Riley, I said, "Can you be by my side just in case we need your help?" She goes, "Sure, Mom." So there's around 30 in our class, and that first day, 26 jumped on. One of them was sick. One of them was out of town, that kind of stuff. So 26 of us were on. So if you've ever done Zoom, you've got all your little, tiles of people's faces. Mm-hmm. Michelle, it took us 2 hours to figure out how, who's here, who's there, My daughter was physically on the floor out of the screenshot laughing, like just crying, laughing, going, "Is this for real?" And I'm like, "This is my life. Yes, this is for real." But we were laughing and enjoying each other. And we're like, "Hey, Jan, we love your ceiling, but we'd rather you pull your camera down so we can see your face." Or "Hey, Susie, your living room is gorgeous, but turn your phone around so we can see you," or, unmute. And so I saw, and this is going to be backwards, I realize, but we saw this and we're like, "Oh my gosh, that's our family." I mean, that's our Bible study. So it's the Brady Bunch, and Alice is gone, and it says, "Hey, Alice, turn your video on." No, it's it's on the bottom. No, not that one. It's on your left. No, I mean, this was us for 2 hours. And you know what I thought of, though? I thought, I'm a huge believer in Satan, and he every Thursday does not want us to get together. He's going to bring in a phone call. He's going to have an extra pile of laundry. He's going to have malfunctions on our computers. He doesn't want us together. And that's all I could think of during that 2 hours is, you will not win. We will get this going. It may be more than 20 minutes, but we will get this going. And sure enough, by 2 hours, we were all on there. We could all see each other. We were giggling. We were laughing. We were hearing dogs in the background. We were, and I was just so thankful. I thought, thank you, Lord, for being so persistent and not giving up on me, to keep nudging me. So the following week, we jumped back on with just a few little glitches, and we did our 2-hour Bible study together. And it was so beautiful because right now we've just got a lot of just some pain going on in our group study. We've got one sweet lady whose grandson has really bad cancer. He's 19 years old. And we've been fervently praying for him, and she's just missed us. We've got one sweet lady who lost her daughter-in-law to lung cancer. And we've just been praying for her, and we just miss that community. Not only the stretcher bearers, but just the laughter, the smiles, the silliness, we just miss that. And so we've had 2 sessions of Bible study, and we have 4 more to go. And our study just doesn't come together on Thursday mornings and then are done. We like to do lunches together afterwards, and we have a little, I think this is okay to say, a little dice game that we play called hand foot dice game that we get together once a month and play. And we have coffees at Panera get together. So it's more than just Thursday mornings. So when you take all of that away, there's just such that need, that desire, and we're fulfilling that by a crazy thing called Zoom. I mean, it's been the best thing. Yeah. And we're so proud of ourselves that, look at us. I mean, we know how to do Zoom, funny thing is, and I think I need to change the setting, but because I'm the leader, I have settings that I can do. And so I have a doorbell setting so that when somebody new comes in, it ding dongs, to let me know someone new is in or whatever. Well, we're going to have to change that because ding dong, there are dogs barking all over the place in the background because the dogs hear the ding dong, and, so you live and you learn. You live and you learn. Right. But anyway, that was one of our funnies last week, that we had crazy dogs barking.
That is awesome. I love that the dog's even getting in on this.
And husbands will come, and all of a sudden there'll be a man here, and I'm like, excuse me, we're very exclusive. There are no men allowed. You need to leave. But he's like, I want to see what all this fun was. They want to be a part of it. So anyway, it's been great. It's more than I ever dreamed of. I entered it with such a pessimistic, this isn't going to work, I don't want to do this attitude. And I tell you what, it's just been such a blessing.
Yeah. I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you and your ladies. I know many of them as well.
They're so great.
And just being willing to try and being humble enough to, have the camera pointed in the wrong direction and figure out, oh, I actually have to turn it around,
Well, and then it guarantees that I take a shower once a week. So that's always good, right? I mean, I know that I have to take a shower on Thursdays and brush my hair. So my husband appreciates that.
Right. Yeah. So I love it. It does help that you all knew each other to begin with, certainly. Sure. But yet, I am so grateful for the opportunities that we are finding in order to be able to connect, because it's the connection.
Oh, for sure.
Just like you said, when you take all of that away, it's such a huge void. And however imperfect as it may be, through whatever mechanisms we're trying online, and all of the chaos of that, it's still so heartwarming.
Well, and that's how the Panera coffees came up, and how the hand foot came up is, we do a Bible study in the fall and a Bible study in the spring, and then nothing in between. And these
Right.
ladies said, this isn't going to work. Like we can't go that long without the connection. Right. And so they came up with these coffees and these hand foot, whoever wants to participate, but they just need that connection. So coming off of the fall study, and then we had the long winter, and it was ready to start again. I knew where those ladies were. They were so ready. And then when that was taken away, I mean, it was devastating for many of them, and so, yes, this looks different, yes, we don't always have great technology, we're looking at your ceiling or your, dogs are barking or whatever, but it works, it works. And I'm glad that we even have this opportunity to do this.
Absolutely. Me too. Me too. Well, thanks for sharing the story. Thanks for sharing the fun parts of it and the hilarity along the way. And thanks also for just being honest and saying, you know what, I didn't want to do this. I don't like change. This is hard. This is hard. But jumping in and being willing.
Yeah.
So.
Change is not my middle name for sure. But it's amazing when you allow God to work through you, what can be done. Because thank goodness it wasn't just left up to me, because we wouldn't be here today. If it was left up to Robin, I would have just shut it down. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I just want to encourage all of us to consider ways to figure out how to connect, because it's too important otherwise. And with Robin's story and her group, you can tell that God still works through it all and allows us to be in fellowship with one another, in connection and relationship with one another. We can hold one another in prayer during this time. We can share our ups and our downs, the hard parts of all of this, of life, as well as the fun, silly, joyful, wonderful things that are happening. And I think that we're going to come out of this time with some silver lining lessons that we're learning.
Sure.
And so, so this is just a great example of that. So I want to thank everybody for watching. This is What Matters. And I also want to encourage us all to know that there are other opportunities of making connections through our church. Of course, our online services are available in the weekend worship times. You just go online and select the service that you normally attend and enjoy that from your home, and you can still worship in powerful ways. There's also Wednesday night programming that will be kicking off this week with a new study opportunity, so you can join in on Wednesday nights, or if you are in a small group looking for that next opportunity or study or topic, that will be available for small groups as well. And so we're going to provide those links for you in our notes here. Our pastors are sharing daily devotionals on Facebook, on the Church of the Resurrection Facebook page. And then Pastor Adam has been sharing a Tuesday night Vespers on his Reverend Adam Hamilton Facebook page. And those have just been really wonderful and so comforting. So just encourage us all to take a look at that. So thanks again. I'm Michelle Funk, your host. Thank you, Robin, for being here and sharing your story.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
All right. Bye.